Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going into Tool Talk episode 1, the revival. Kind of reviving my older videos, but it's a different video. So today we're going over universal sockets or universal adapters, the differences, pros and cons of each, and I'll let you guys see close up the differences and what I think. Please let me know what you guys think. Drop it down in the comments. Also, if you're interested in any of these items, I do have them linked down in the description in the new Amazon links that I have, which are much more appealing to the eye, and I think you guys will enjoy it a lot better. So if you're interested, check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get into this. Okay, YouTubers, so starting off, I'm sure a majority of everybody watching this knows kind of what the differences are, but I'm going to hit them anyways, show you some pros and cons of each, and just quickly discuss them. So this is what you would consider a universal adapter, and they come in all drive sizes as well. I have the 3 common drive sizes: 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. And then they also have them in impact grade as well. And then you have your universal sockets, which is, instead of having to adapt a socket to your universal adapter, they are built in. So we'll be comparing these 3/8 drives and these 1/4 inch drives. Now, real quickly, universal adapters can be picked up, for many different prices, really cheap. A couple dollars, maybe $10 for a set. Most socket sets will come with these adapters. And then depending on the brand and the size of kit that you get for universal sockets will range. This 1/4 inch set from Astro runs about $35. It's down in the description. As well as this gear wrench set. I have this in both metric and SAE. And the set together, both SAE and metric, is going to run about $90. Individually, they're about $40 or $50. So there is a big difference right there. Universal adapters being fairly cheap, universal sockets can get pretty expensive, and these are mid-grade, good quality, whereas it can get much more expensive, hundreds of dollars for a set. So keep that in mind. And then same thing with the impact grade. This adapter actually came with my gear wrench impact socket set, so that was a nice addition to it. And then I also have these Matco universal sockets. These are 12 point, but they're great. They're built a little bit differently in order to hold more strength from impacts, obviously. So the universal joint, the main con to these, we all know that these tend to loosen up over time, and the common fix is for some electrical tape. Wrap it around here and then you can kind of force it in the direction you want. But other than that, the big difference is the size. If you're trying to get into a tight spot, that is where these universal sockets really come in handy. I mean, they're a lifesaver when you really need to get into a tight spot. As you can tell here, the height different. And then this is a standard, 14 millimeter socket. This is much more shallow. And then this is a 19 millimeter socket and 19 millimeter universal socket. So you can definitely see the size difference there. So it allows you to really get into tight spots. That's the main advantage of these universal sockets. And it's kind of annoying switching out sockets all the time, but if you're not looking at spending a whole lot of money, I'd much rather, flip out sockets than, if you're on a tight budget, spend $50 just to be able to grab a different universal socket. So as you guys know, this is all subjective. These are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. But all in all, if you work a lot in the automotive field, you're obviously going to want to pick up some of these universal sockets. They're very helpful. But if you're on a tight budget, or you're just not looking at spending $50 to $100 to a few $100s, you know, depending on if you go with like Snap-on or something like that, Matco. If you're not looking at spending that money, these universal adapters do just fine. Just be aware that, you know, there's a height or length disadvantage or advantage with one or the other. Also, another thing that really confused me, let me know what you guys think. These universal sockets also come in extra or deep well, and to me, at that point, I would really just rather use a universal adapter instead of buying shallow universal sockets, deep well universal sockets. I mean, to me, that's just a little overkill because that's hundreds of dollars right there. So maybe if you're hardcore every single day using them day in and day out, I guess I could understand it, but I think a standard set for me does just fine. And if I needed a deep well socket with a universal, I would just use an adapter. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much, and later.